Hello. We'd like to thank you for attending the Atherton Candidates Forum, during which all candidates running for Atherton Town Council will have a chance to address and answer questions from all the citizens of Atherton, California. Hello again, my name is John Davey. I'm a past president and board member of the Atherton Civic Interest League. This forum is in a joint sponsorship with the ACIL and the League of Women Voters of Southern San Mateo County. Prior to this event, we asked each candidate to prepare and submit written statements to the ACIL one week prior to this forum tonight. Their responses are posted and published locally and can be found on the AthertonCivicInterestLeague.org website under Press and Publications tab. In addition, we've created a list of special questions, prepared questions for this session, which we will ask the candidates to answer when we ask them directly. And at this point, I'd like to introduce Linda Craig, who will be going over the rules of tonight's event. Thank you.
Thank you, John. This is a forum that the League of Women Voters attempts to do in all local elections, as well as we're doing some at the statewide level as well. We have all four candidates here this evening, and the League of Women Voters is a national, nonpartisan volunteer organization of men and women. Our mission is to encourage your active and informed participation in your government at all levels. The League does not endorse candidates or political parties. Our sole interest is in helping voters gain fair and unbiased information in order to make an informed decision on Election Day, November 2nd, or earlier if you have a standard absentee ballot, which we understand will be coming next week. In addition to this forum, I encourage you to use the League of Women Voters of California website, known as smartvoter.org. It's www.smartvoter.org. We would like to encourage all of the candidates to post their information there if they have not already. This event is being videotaped and will be replayed both on the Smart Voter website and local access public television. Our format this evening will be that each candidate will have 2.5 minutes for an opening statement and 2 minutes for a closing statement at the end of the meeting. They will then answer the questions that were posed by the ACIL, and then we will move to questions from the audience. That will be, have 3x5 cards that we have people that will be circulating in the audience. You may write questions and they will collect them. Again, if we will try to select the ones that are of most general interest, because frequently there are more questions than we'll have time to deal with. And the candidates will have 1 minute to respond to the questions. And we have a League of Women Voters volunteer in the front row here who will be signaling to the candidates shortly before your time is up, but then she'll raise a red card or, yes, that says stop. So we'll give you a few minutes, just 15 seconds or so to know that you can wind up and finish your sentence. So at this point, I'll turn it back over to John, and he will do his questions.
Well, it's with great pleasure I'd like to introduce our candidates, Jerry Carlson, Bill Widmer, Jim Dobby, and Carrie Weist. And we would, we'd like to have the candidates do their introductory statements at this point, and the order of go is?
First will be Jerry Carlson. We drew numbers.
Okay.
Second will be Jim Dobby. Third will be Bill Widmer, and fourth, Carrie Weist.
Good. Jerry.
Thank you, League of Women Voters and ACL, for this opportunity to address the key issues facing our town and allowing me to tell you my qualifications for dealing with these top issues. First issue is we need to create a long-term sustainable financial model for our town. I chaired the audit committee that oversaw the first clean audit from our outside auditors. I have the financial experience needed for the job. I have a Stanford MBA and over 40 years of corporate financial experience, including serving as Hewlett-Packard's first corporate controller. I've also served on the town's finance committee. Coming up with a real working financial model is a manageable problem, but it needs to be tackled with a sense of urgency and with maximum community engagement. Second issue, it's been on everybody's lips, high-speed rail. I've talked to many of you, and we all want to protect the peninsula from any potential harm. Some people say high-speed rail needs to be underground or not at all. I spent a lot of personal time participating in meetings in Sacramento and elsewhere fighting for our interests. I'm listening to you and acting on your concerns. Third issue, we've always maintained a safe rural environment. It's not an easy task when we have a shaky environment, shaky economic recovery, and some of our neighboring communities are less safe. We remain exposed to the threat of a major development projects that could impact our streets and roads. As you know, I've been very active in reaching out in regional organizations and in several of our schools on this issue. Public safety is job number one. Protection and well-being of our residents and students must remain priority number one. And today's accident in El Camino underscores the importance of this particular priority. You told me these are the top issues on your mind, and that is what I'm focused on: finances, high-speed rail, and public safety. I love this town, and I will do my utmost to maintain the quality of life we all value so much. Thank you.
Well, I would like to thank the ACIL and League of Women Voters for giving us this opportunity to talk to residents. Tonight, I'm going to review my qualifications for the very small number of you who haven't seen my ad in the almanac, my website, and my direct mail postcards. My wife, Patricia, and I have lived in Atherton for over 16 years after being in Palo Alto for 19. So I'm very familiar not only with Atherton issues, but with broader peninsula issues. I've been active in Atherton for the last 10 years and on the council since 2008. I've served as chairman of the General Plan Committee, vice chairman of the Planning Commission. I started a letter writing campaign in 2002 to limit the amount of time builders were allowed to complete projects, which the council finally approved. I proposed and succeeded in installing clear readable signs at all building sites, a very simple but effective way of ensuring that the daily rules for construction activities were understood. With two other residents, I worked to reduce noisy overflights of Atherton from aircraft landing in San Francisco. In my 40 years of executive management in large and small companies, I have learned that team building is the key to success. We're about to embark on a new era, new council members, and a new town staff. If I'm re-elected, I will endeavor to work with all of them to create a strong team and a new spirit. Originally, I ran for the council because I wanted to ensure that all residents were being represented, not just the very vocal minorities, such as the builders and developers. I want to be sure that the silent minority are not overlooked in the decision process. I'm running as an independent and have no financial support from special interests. I have strong support from all geographies, both east and west of El Camino. 5 of my grandchildren attended public schools in Atherton. My oldest grandson is presently at Menlo Atherton High School, was on the football team. His sister, an MA graduate, was an outstanding athlete and is now on the Harvard track team. Grandfathers can occasionally boast. I'm a strong supporter of children's sports and the use of school facilities. What many of you may not realize is all council members do not just attend 1 or 2 council meetings a month. All of us are members of different committees. I'm on the Finance Committee, the Audit Committee, Holbrook Palmer Foundation, and previously on the Blue Ribbon Task Force. The Finance and Audit Committee are key to finding solutions to the town's financial crisis. We have made some progress, but much remains to be done. to find a long-term solution to keep the town services residents with the money to pay for them. I have strongly opposed rescinding the road impact fees, and recently the council reduced the refund from $1.6 million to $532,000. Still more than I want, but better than before. With the Finance Committee, we've changed the town's investment policy to reduce risk. My wife, Patricia, and I are long-term supporters of the Holbrook Palmer Foundation and Friends of the Library.
First off, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for hosting this, the ACIL, as well as the League of Good Women Voters. Good evening. I'm Bill Widmer, and I've lived in Atherton since 1996 with my wife and my children. It would be an honor to serve you if you would give me your vote when you vote for Atherton Council. I believe we should all give back to the community. That's what I've done here for 14 years. I do my best, and I expect more from myself, and I do that so I can achieve more. I'm hoping you agree with this, because I believe Atherton should expect more. I've been involved in our town's government through participation on committees and in providing hands-on assistance to the town. And the more I've been involved and the more I've learned, I feel strongly that we here in Atherton should be expecting more. I also feel strongly that the skills I have, my community insight, and my education will allow me to help achieve more for you. Later tonight, we're going to talk about the issues. Now I'd like to give a little bit more information about myself. First, I'm a community leader. I have 14 years of active involvement in our community. I've been involved in area programs and foundations. I've worked with the Church of the Nativity. I've served on both local and federal boards and committees, including the town's Audit Committee, Finance Committee, the Yes on S&T Parcel Tax Committee, and the AYSO Board. I know how to build consensus. I'm also a business executive with an MBA. I have 30 years experience in running business units for companies like General Dynamics, Computer Sciences Corporation, and France Telecom. I've managed organizations of thousands of people and had P&L responsibilities for hundreds of millions of dollars. I've negotiated contracts and solved disputes with companies, unions, cities, states, and federal agencies. I know how to get things done. My platform consists of 3 parts: financial stability, community, and communications. My positions are well documented on the web. In November, you're going to decide who has the right skills to address the issues that we're facing. I have transformed organizations. I've brought change with technology, hands-on leadership, and accountability. I will deliver for you. You should expect more. Together, we'll do more. Thank you.
Coming up last, often we get, I'm sorry, is this working? Coming up last, we often get to say a few things. And tonight, I'm glad to be here this evening. We were able to get me out of a wedding, so I was either going to have a stand-in here, not be here, or I was going to be at a wedding. So that's one less tuxedo rental. So I'm glad to be here. I thank the ACIL group, the League of Women's Voters, for taking the opportunity to have all of us here this evening. Let me introduce myself. My name is Kerry Wiest, and I'm asking your support for the Atherton Town Council. I understand the issues we face, and I care deeply about the town of Atherton. I come without a bias or an agenda. I have used 10 years of experience working with a community for the better good. I believe in the better good. As I've started to walk my neighborhoods and meet more people in the town of Atherton, I've been asked a question, and it seems to be common. Why would you want to put yourself in such a dysfunctional group? Of course, I have to pause and think, dysfunctional group. The question alone is enough for me to be involved. I am a people-oriented leader. I gain the trust, confidence, and cooperation of others by being truthful and accountable and objective-driven. We have a lot of issues here in the town of Atherton, and you've heard several of them, most of them, from the candidates here. We have police services that are clearly an issue, that we're talking about outsourcing. For the record, I support the police department. I do not support outsourcing these services, but I believe that that decision's got to be left to you, not me. I'm one of 5. That decision, again, goes to you, and I will support that. We have to get a sustainable financial plan for the future. It's not just that we have to be prepared today, but we have to have a plan for tomorrow. 4 years is not enough, 10 years is enough, maybe more. Let's do that. Let's stop talking and let's prepare ourselves. Budgeting for a town is unlike budgeting for a private company. I have the right experience to lead Atherton into the future. Obviously, the high-speed rail is clear. We have an issue related to the high-speed rail. I have the energy, experience, and cooperation and enthusiasm to help this town for tomorrow. I thank you for your time.